Hello, welcome to another Verbling class. My name is Hamish, and in this hour we are going to have a good look at the speaking section of the IELTS exam. We're going to look in particular about particular questions to do with family, and these are questions that can come up quite commonly, quite frequently in part one, where the examiner will ask you I think some quite straightforward questions about your family, but we still need to be prepared and comfortable and ready to answer these questions so that we have a good beginning to the speaking section of this exam. A quick reminder for everyone that these first 2 minutes are for Verbling premium users, so if you want to make sure you have a chance to get a reservation and make sure you can get your spot in these first 2 minutes of classes, then please consider taking a Verbling premium membership. I put the link to the web information there on in the Verbling chat. Let's see, I think oh yes, I have another website linked for you. I'll put that in there so everyone can see it when you're in the classroom. This is a link to the official IELTS website. There we go, and that gives you good information in terms of when you might want to take it, when, where, how, when, how much, the application process, and also some really good advice from former IELTS students and candidates, successful IELTS students who have taken the exam and can tell you their experience, and also some really good advice about how to prepare and also how to perform in the IELTS exam as well. Now, as I say, we're going to look at family questions today, and I've got a list of these questions I want to ask each and everyone in class. Really, I want to go through the same kinds of questions with everyone so we can hear, of course, different examples, different answers, because we'll all have something different to say when we're asked a personal question like that. The only person who can answer that question is going to be you. So I'll be interested in hearing your personal responses, and of course I'll be listening for some good, clear, crisp pronunciation, natural talking speed, some good word choice, coherent, well-structured answers, all those good things. Yes, I think we have people coming to the class now, so let me say hello to everybody. Let me say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to everybody, and then we'll get started in this class. All right, let's have a look. First of all, can I say hello to, is it Badr? Hello, Badr.
Hello.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
And Badr, where are you from?
I'm from Morocco.
Morocco. Well, welcome to Verbling. Welcome to this IELTS speaking class. Are you interested, do you want to prepare for your IELTS exam, or are you here just to practice English with us?
Yeah, I want to improve my English. That's why I'm practicing English.
Okay. And why do you want to improve your English? What do you need English for?
So I want to use it in my daily work and in studies. So I have some difficulty with my speaking. That's why I want to speak with the real people and improve my speech.
Okay. Well, those are great reasons. I'm really glad to have you in class today, Badr. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Let me say hello next to Luri. Hello, Luri. Welcome back. How are you doing today?
I'm okay, and you?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. How's the weather with you today, Luri?
Oh, it's quite good, warm and sunny. It's green.
I've got the same weather. We must be very close, because I have a very blue sky out there today, so I'm feeling pretty good about things.
It's even hot today.
Oh, really? Really? Yeah. Well, yes, I think it's going to be warm. I think warmer here in Tennessee, so I'm looking forward to that. It's pretty cold inside the house, so I'm happy about that as well. Luri, thank you so much. Welcome back to class. Good to see you. Good to hear you, at least. Let me also say hello and welcome back to Mahmoud. Hello, Mahmoud. Welcome back.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm all right. How are you today?
I'm doing good.
That sounded like the ice cream van outside your window there. That was an interesting noise.
From my side.
All right, I wonder where that was from. That was hilarious. Maybe there is ice cream and we should all go out and get it. Mahmoud, thank you. Good to see you in class. I'm really glad you could join us today. Let me also say hello to Nina. Hello, Nina.
Hello.
How are you today?
Great, thank you.
Excellent.
I'm very glad to be here.
And tell me, why do you want to improve your English?
I have to take a TOEFL exam, and I have to improve my spoken language.
Mm-hmm. And tell me, Nina, why are you taking the TOEFL exam?
I hope to study in US. To study in US.
Uh-huh.
Maybe next year or later.
All right. What kind of thing? What subject do you want to study?
My field of interest is management and economics.
Okay, go on. Let me take a note of that. All right, well, it's good to have you in class, Nina, and we were doing, I think we've done them, actually. I did some TOEFL classes here this week, but I try to do TOEFL speaking preparation classes on a regular basis here on Verbling as well. So, but I think I took participation in one of your classes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it wasn't. I think it was before this week, wasn't it? I'm trying to remember now. I know you've been in my classes before, so it's, of course, welcome back, Nina, as well. And I think IELTS speaking preparation, that kind of practice in getting, in having to answer those questions quite quickly and quite precisely as well. I think that's good preparation as well for the TOEFL or TOEIC or other exams like that. So good to have you in class, Nina. Thanks for joining us today. All right, let me say hello. Welcome back to Talita. Hello, Talita.
Hi. Are you able to see me in the class? I can do this.
Yeah,
I can see my picture.
All right. No, you're in the class. I can see you. Yeah.
Okay, I will not turn on the camera because I have big spots, big black spots on my eyes, so I look like a panda over now, and it's not a good thing to see.
I understand.
In the morning.
I understand. Well, fair enough. Okay, that's not a problem. But we still have a cat in your picture, so that's really the most important thing, I think. In a Verbling class is to make sure there is some kind of cat, in the class at some point. Because all my cats are outside, so I couldn't provide a cat today, so I'm just a little sad about that. Talita, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us again. It's good to hear your voice. Let me say hello, last of all, to Anton. Hello, Anton.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. I like your poster, by the way. That's very cool.
I get it a lot.
I come from a country and a work experience where that was real advice. That was a real thing. So where are you at the moment, Anton?
I'm in my room in my dormitory.
Mm-hmm. And where is that?
It is near Moscow. Small town near Moscow.
Okay. And so you're studying at the moment. What are you studying?
Well, my major is physics and technology.
Okay, those are two things I know nothing about. But of course, you're not here for a physics class, so that's okay.
But I like more English. I like English. That's why sometimes I miss classes to study English on this site.
Okay, well that'll be our secret. I'm sure no one's watching, so that's okay. Leo, tell me, why do you want to improve your English?
Me?
Sorry, I meant Anton. I'm sorry, I got a little confused in the excitement. Anton, tell me, why do you want to improve your English?
I don't know. I just think that English gives a lot of advantages in life. For example, I can get an opportunity to travel at work. I am working right now in the company, and it has a lot of customers all over the world. And if I have enough skills in English, I will be able to travel. They will send me on business trips.
Right. Okay. And those are some solid and yes, I agree with those reasons for improving English, for business reasons, for career reasons, to give yourself those opportunities of of business travel or world travel. Great, yes, good reasons for studying English, a good motivation. And so yeah, nice to have you in class today. We won't be talking about business too much, but we're going to be practicing some good family questions, and these are questions you could be asked if you know, when you travel abroad and you meet someone new at a meeting, at a conference, but also just meeting someone socially. These are pretty common questions that an English speaker might ask you. So good to have that practice. Leo, I'm going to come to you now. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to use your name before. I got a little confused there. Leo, how are you today?
Fine. It's pretty good today.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And this is the first time I joined your class, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Leo, tell me, where are you from?
I'm from Hong Kong.
Okay. Welcome to Verbling. Welcome to this class as well.
Yeah.
And tell me, why do you want to improve your English?
Well, actually, I'm working as an IT consultant. Sometimes I need to speak with the foreigners. They are native speakers in English. During our conversation, I found they didn't really understand what I'm saying because they usually ask me to repeat what I am saying.
Okay.
So I think I need to improve my English speaking a lot. Yeah.
Sure. And Leo, tell me, I mean, when they're speaking, do you understand them well?
Usually I can get around 70% to 70% of what they are saying.
Okay.
Not all.
No, and that's fair enough. And when we think about, you know, when we listen, when we listen in a second language, a lot of the time, 70% is really what we need.
Yes.
It's, I mean, if we think about, you know, calling up for a doctor's appointment or to arrange a meeting, there's key information we need to understand. The rest, well, we don't need to understand every single word in order to communicate effectively with someone, or to be able to hear someone effectively. So, Leo, I think it's, I appreciate your motivation for wanting to improve your English, and I just want to say again, welcome to Verbling, and I hope you get some good practice in a class like this, because I think it can be really helpful. So thanks for joining us in class.
Thank you.
And Slim, welcome back. I see you made it. Good to see you. How are you today? Slim, how are you today?
No, okay, it's better. I'm good.
Good is good. Okay.
I'm feeling good.
I'm glad to hear that. Let's get moving. We have, oh yeah, family, right? So I'm using the questions in the IELTS exam. I don't think we have many future IELTS students or candidates here in the classroom today, but these are good questions to practice. Anyways, I'm going to turn off your mic there, Anton, because your keyboard's as loud as my one, which is pretty loud. So let me turn that off while you're not speaking to us. Yeah, so these family questions, these are essential questions to practice with and prepare for when you're looking to take the IELTS exam. They're also good practice for other English-speaking exams, and also really just good practice for English speaking, because these questions are very common, very ordinary questions, and they're also questions that are really just good practice when you're if you're getting to know someone or meeting someone new. They will very often ask about your family. If we're talking about British or American, Australian, or Canadians, people from New Zealand, or any of these countries, they'll very quickly, if they know you're a visitor to their country, or maybe they're new to your country, they'll very quickly ask you questions about family, because they want to know these things. We know there are some cultures in the world where these questions might be a little bit too much, might be a little bit, you know, too forward, too personal when you just meet someone. And of course, and that's absolutely fine. But it is good to be clear that in those English-speaking cultures, these questions are not considered rude. They're just a natural part of getting to know someone. And especially here in the United States, where I'm teaching now, it's very common to get questions like this very quickly, because people want to get to know you quickly, and they want to establish a relationship quickly as well, so that you can get on well and communicate, and if you're working together, that you can work better as well. So I want to ask the same kinds of questions to everyone here in class. Before I tell you my questions, what kinds of things, if you want to know about someone's family, what kinds of questions can you ask? What do you think?
I don't know.
If they live together or not, for example. If
Are
What
you
do they do?
are you an only child?
All right, let me put that one down. Are you an only child? What does that mean, Talita?
Without brothers and sisters.
All right, got it. Okay, and Slim, I think you. What did you have for us there, Slim?
did they live together, the parents?
All right.
Are they
Many
divorced or not?
they have. Can I try? Okay. They have. There is many families they didn't live together, and how to say it? The father will live alone, and the mother alone, and
Divorced.
Okay.
and the children sometimes they how to say it? Like a bird, they quit the home.
Okay. So, and I know, I think my parents were very happy when their children acted like birds and left the nest. So, if we got a question about parents, for example. Sorry, just cutting a little bit of noise out there from Ali Reza there. Now, okay,
Yes.
so a couple of
Excuse
questions.
me.
That's okay. A couple of questions we've got. Oh yeah, we can talk about, say, are your parents still together? In that sense of, are they together? Are they living separately? Are they divorced? So we could have that. Together. Of course, are your parents still living? That would be a common question in English, because we reach a certain age and it's possible that our parents
Yes.
aren't with us anymore. So yeah.
Do you have a stepmother?
Right? Ah, yes. Okay. Yes. Do you have a mother, stepfather? Yeah, things like that. And are you just if we want to know if someone is living with their parents, how do we ask that?
Did
If
you
some-
Do you
live
live
alone?
with their parents?
They're actually going to ask it a different way. They're just going to say, "Oh, do you still live at home?" Because home will always, if someone is in their 20s, for example, home will until you're married, until you have your own children, we'll still think of home as your parents. But you could be a lawyer, a doctor, it doesn't matter. Home, are you going home for Christmas? Home will mean your parents, until of course you have your own relationship and maybe your own children as well, and then suddenly home becomes, of course, your home, and maybe your parents are coming to your home because they want to see the grandchildren, things like that. So
And if I want to ask a question about visiting at home, so how can I say it? Do you visit a lot at home?
well, we can say, well, let's see. We can say, do you go home a lot?
Frequently? Do you visit frequently at home?
We can use visit. I would suggest we could just use see. Do you see your family a lot? Do you see your parents a lot?
Okay. So do you see your family a lot?
Yeah. And of course, if we know, my goodness, some people, of course, they live very close to their families, and some people live very far, far away on the other side of the world to their family. And sometimes that's a choice they made, and sometimes they had no choice about it. So, of course, we need to be sensitive about these questions. In the IELTS exam, they're really just going to ask for the bare facts and some details. In a social situation, well, this conversation could go in all sorts of interesting ways, because all of us, we all have a unique life experience. I always tell people that my family is very ordinary, because my parents are still together and I have a brother and sister and all these things. But when I really think about my family history, I know I have some interesting things that have happened in my family that are out of the ordinary, and I think all of us have something. If we think of an uncle or an aunt.
It's very interesting that your parents are still together.
Well, statistically, maybe. I think it's about half and half in the UK, and I'm very glad that I know they work hard. I think everyone who's together, no one finds that easy, I think. But of course, I'm really glad that my parents are together. I feel quite lucky about that these days. Yes. Okay, so there are lots of things we can ask about. I'm going to ask the more straightforward questions first of all. Okay, and for example, in the IELTS exam, they'll ask if they don't ask about family every time. In the IELTS exam, not at all, because this is the second part of part one. So they've probably asked about work or study. Maybe they've asked about your hometown. And the next thing is they might ask about family, learning English, where you're staying, the food you like to eat, sports, hobbies, stuff like that. So family's in that sort of second part. So maybe they'll ask, maybe they won't, but we definitely need to be prepared and comfortable and ready to answer questions about family. Let me put some of these questions on here so you can see them before we practice, okay? So one of the questions they ask, do you have a large or small family? Yeah. And so of course we need to be able to talk about brothers and sisters and maybe do we live with the family? Or do we live far away from the family? And your answer will, of course, affect the next question they ask you. So if you say, no, it's, do you have a large family? No, it's just me. Well, they're not going to ask you what kind of things you do with that family. But if you have a large family, or if you're living at home, then they probably will ask you, well, who do you get on with? Who do you like spending time with? What kinds of things do you do? So let me put a couple of those questions down as well. So how much time do you spend with? There we go. And last of all, what kinds of things do you do together? And again, if I ask those questions 10 or 12 different times, I will get 10 or 12 different answers. So we're not talking about generally about family or what it is or what is good or bad about family. We're talking about, these questions are very much about your personal experience. Some people are happy talking about those things. Some people are less comfortable. In the IELTS exam, we need to answer those questions. So for anybody here, if you're thinking, I don't really want to talk about family with a complete stranger, then we need to practice those questions so that you are comfortable doing it, because we have to answer the questions. And of course, the examiner, they're a little bit interested in your information, but they're much more interested in your ability to communicate in English, to give a clear answer, a direct answer, to use good descriptions, good adjectives, good word choice, and good pronunciation. So to give them a good answer that they can understand in English, that's what they're looking for. 10 minutes after you leave that exam room, there's every chance they've forgotten what you said, because they'll be doing 10, 15, 20 students that day. So you're not giving away any private information here, really. You're just demonstrating your English ability. That's the thing that they're interested in. They're not really trying to find out about your family. They just want to hear you speak English. Okay, so sometimes they'll use family questions for that. So they're not going to go in and start writing emails about you or anything. I promise you that. Let's practice the questions that I just put on the board here, okay? And I want to start in the order on my list, and I know first of all here today was Badir. Badir, tell me, are you here and are you happy to practice with us? Badir, can you hear me okay?
I think it's better, actually.
Yeah, I think he left this.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to, because I know this is a busy thing, so I'm just going to take him out of the Hangout just so someone has got room. They need to come in. All right. Let me go next to Luri. Hello, Luri. Are you there?
Hello.
All right. Are you happy to practice with us?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So those questions on the screen, those are the kinds of things I'm going to ask you, Luri, and let's see how we get on. So imagine we've had our introductions in this exam. I've asked you about work and study, or maybe your hometown, and you've given me wonderful answers. And now I'm going to move on, and I'm going to say, oh, Luri, I'd like to talk about your family. Can you describe your family for me, please?
Okay. Actually saying I have my own family. There are 3 people in my family, me, my wife, and my son. And I had to say about the 4th member of my family, it's cat. Because he has been living with us for 12 years. And I think he has become as a part of our family.
Good.
I also have parents and brother and sister. My parents live far away from me. My sister quite young. She study. She study at university. But I visit my parents very often.
Okay. And so when you visit your parents, what do you like to do together?
When I visit my parents, I try to help them with their homework because they are quite old. And even homework is hard to do for them, and I try to help them as much I can. I think it's very important to support my parents in their elderly age because they support me when I was a young man.
Oh, absolutely. Luri, those are very nice answers. Now let me focus, and of course you mentioned right at the start, well I have my own family, and absolutely, and of course you know, some of these answers will of course be about a wife or a husband or a partner and our own children and things like that. And when we answer that, often the examiner of course will want to focus on, you know, on your own family and what you do as a family, how much time you can spend with your family, things like that. Now you mentioned helping, you know, when you visit your parents, that you're helping them out. Can you give me an example of something you might do to help your parents?
I try to repair something broken. I help them to bring up their crops. And sometimes I have fun with them because my father is hunter and I often go with them to hunt. My mother liked to read and forced me to discuss with her new books because she is interested in my development as a social person, and I forced to discuss sometimes it's quite hard for me, because she read books that I would never read, but I forced to read them, and I think it's quite useful for me.
Okay. Laurie, I want to focus on, you made a really, one of the first points you made, that was, I think, a very common thing for someone to want to talk about. So I wanted just to focus on that for a moment. You talked about helping out your parents. And I know you were calling that sort of housework. What I would really call that is helping out maybe around the house, and that can be a little bit different. So let me put that. So helping out around the house, and because the examples you're giving me, absolutely to fix something, yeah, to fix or repair something, yeah. And of course that, and you're right, that is of course very common when people get older. Often they do need some help, and they'll ask for some help, I hope.
Sorry.
Okay, I got you there, Larry. So to talk about helping out around.
I'm ready again.
Yeah, okay. So to talk about helping out around the house, that could cover, well, that could cover a lot of things. That could cover some housework, I mean, vacuuming, cleaning the windows, whatever. But it could also cover just some of those general home repairs that are maybe getting a little bit more difficult for for your parents to do. So yeah, helping out around the house, that's definitely a good thing to be describing and talking about. And if we give that example, if we say, oh well, I help out around the house, then always let's think of, well, what how can I, what examples can I give for this? And you gave some, you talked about also helping out with in terms of some of the farming work or the gardening work as well. Yes, Louis? Louis, sorry. Okay, so yeah, so these are things we can absolutely talk about. So thanks for that practice. We've really got some interesting examples there. Let me move on and let me go to the next person in my list, which is Mahmoud. Mahmoud, are you there?
Yes.
All right. Are you happy to answer my family questions?
Yes, sure.
All right, Mahmoud, again, this is, towards the latter part of part one, so maybe we've talked about work and study, your hometown, and then perhaps the examiner will say, oh, and now I'd like to talk about family. Mahmoud, can you describe your family for me, please?
Yeah, sure. I have a large family. There are 7 family members. I have 4 sisters and 1 brother. And my dad is a retired army officer, and he now teaches at a college, while my mom is a homemaker. My elder sisters are married and they live with their in-laws, while my brother is also married, but he and his family lives with us. My younger sister, she is she's studying in the 8th standard. That's all about my family.
Okay, that last point. She's studying. I'm sorry. Where is that? Is that a grade in school? A year in school? What is she studying?
Yes, yeah. She studies in the 8th class at school.
Oh right. Okay. I got it. And tell me how much. I mean, those are really good details, by the way. How much time do you get to spend with your family, and what kinds of things do you like to do together?
Unfortunately, at present, due to my work routine, I don't have much time to spend with my family because I usually have time after returning from the work, and it's at night that I have to spend with my family. But it's on the Sundays and weekends it's the time I try to reserve it for my family. And usually we have, as a family, we plan our holidays or weekends together. That whether we are going to dine out this weekend, or whether we are going to some beach, or whether we are going to visit our relatives, or if there isn't anything special, we try to help each other, have heart-to-heart talk with each other. That's all, I think.
Okay. Again, Mahmoud, those are some really good details. You're giving me a very fluent answer, lots of detail, and very easy to understand. So really, answers that are a high standard. I want to focus on a couple of things, not because you got them wrong, just because I want to check that everyone here that we all know what they mean. So you mentioned the role of homemaker. Who can tell me what does homemaker mean?
May I try?
Oh well, I hope you know, Mahmoud. I think I'm gonna see if anyone else knows. Can anyone else tell me what homemaker is?
I think it's a person who just keeps house in house environment atmosphere very good. I mean, like
this person is hard.
I mean, who is normally the homemaker? Is that someone? Is that a paid job? Is someone brought in to be the homemaker?
No, I think no.
Right. So who normally is the homemaker?
The woman. The wife.
Yeah. I mean, most commonly it is. I know in the UK. In Britain these days, it's I think perhaps maybe 20% of homemakers would be the man. The man would either choose to be at home, or because of the recession, perhaps he's lost his job, so he takes on that role, while the wife or the partner is doing the paid employment instead. So we're seeing more of a mix, but traditionally it's been the wife or the woman, and traditionally it's been the mother. And we're talking about doing work around the house, but we're also very much talking about doing work. Sorry, Slim, we've got some noise from you on the microphone. We're also talking. Yeah, I mean, Slim has already put that in the chat. It is a modern word for housewife. So yes, we're looking after the house, but most of the time we're also looking after the children as well. So very much looking after children, but before they reach school age. So before they hit 4 or 5 or 6, we're looking after those children. So this is really two jobs, I would say. Yes, maintaining the house, but also looking after the kids as well. So that homemaker is very much about protecting and nurturing and also teaching and bringing up those kids before they go off to school. So it's a pretty serious occupation, actually. Mahmoud also mentioned that when I asked him what kinds of things do you do with your family, one of the things he mentioned was a heart-to-heart, and a heart-to-heart conversation, for example, or heart-to-heart talk. Not Mahmoud, but who can someone else tell me what a heart-to-heart talk sounds like?
Very private conversation.
A private conversation, yes, Nina. And so what kinds of things? It's private, but what are they talking about? For example,
feelings about personal things. Personal experience, bad experience.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, exactly. So, you know what? Of course, a lot of the time it might be about a relationship. It could be about kids. It could be about parents. It could be about work. If it's a very intense, and Nina, you're absolutely right. If it's a very private conversation, a very important conversation.
Sincerely conversation.
Oh, Slim first. I'm sorry, Slim.
It could be also about marriage and the problem that we have in the family.
Oh, absolutely.
If we have a medical, how to say, someone is ill, or we have to visit and speak about him.
Awesome, thank you. That's a good one. And Talita, what did you have there?
Sincerely conversation, maybe.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so well, this is a great definition then of a heart-to-heart conversation. As you say, it's in private, probably just two people speaking together to have a heart-to-heart. There's no one else in the room. There's no one else listening, and it's very personal. And yes, it could be about all those things. It could be about a problem in a marriage or a family, a problem at work, a problem with an illness. And you're right. When it's a heart-to-heart conversation, Talita, you're absolutely right. We're being honest in this conversation. We are being sincere, and of course it can be very difficult to have a heart-to-heart conversation, but also we hope it can be very, very helpful, a very good thing to talk about the big problems like that. So of course if we have someone in our family who we can have a heart-to-heart with, that's a wonderful thing, to have to support us when we have something difficult in our lives. My goodness, yes. So some great vocabulary, and Mahmoud, I thought your answers were very well detailed and very fluent as well. So thank you for those. Let me now go to Nina. I know I just heard you speak. So are you happy to practice these questions with us, Nina?
I'm very happy to practice because you are my only chance to practice.
Well, I'm glad you're next on our list. Nina, again, so maybe we talked about work or study or hometowns, and you did fabulously. You did a wonderful job with those questions. And then the examiner decides she's looking at her list, and she says, okay, we'll do family next. And so perhaps she says, Nina, could you tell me about your family, please?
Okay. I think that the proper definition for my family is a large one. I have brothers and sisters, and we are very good friends between us. Yeah, I have very good relationship with my mom, better than my father, and we have a lot of heart-to-heart talk. We try. We celebrate our holidays together. We try to stick together. We have a lot of birthdays, and we spend a lot of time together on those dates. And so I think this is the definition of my.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's really interesting, Nina. Now, how many brothers do you have?
We have 4 children.
And so
I have 2 sisters and 1 brother.
Oh, 2. Sorry, I beg your pardon. 2 sisters and 1 brother. Do you get on well with both of your sisters?
Yes, I like spending time with my sisters. I have a very good heart-to-heart talks with my sisters more than my brother.
I can believe that. I can believe that. Brothers are terrible for that kind of thing. I can speak from my own experience. Nina, thank you so much. A lot again, some good detail there. The sound today for us isn't great, but I was able to hear pretty well what you were saying. I don't know. Was that someone blowing their nose anyway? And I'm very allergic today as well. Nina, you remind me, because you were talking about feeling close, and of course using that good heart-to-heart vocabulary, and feeling close to our families. There is an expression we can use, and that is that's close knit. Okay, let me put close knit there in the chat box. Now, we can use close knit for a family. We can't use close knit really for people if maybe we get on well with people at work, but we can't say that we're close knit with people at work. We can, of course, we get on well with our friends, but even with friends, it's hard to say that we're close knit. With a family, now either we're close knit or we're not. So, and I ask this for everybody: what does a close knit family look like?
Friendship. I don't know. Friendship.
Well, it's like when protect them each other, when the people from the family protect each other, support each other, and in any situation they are together.
I quite like to put those points together. I think that's really good. So yes, they are friends, and of course the close from the close knit, they are absolutely together. And yes, I mean, Anton, I think you're right that they can protect each other as well. So maybe they'll defend each other, they'll help each other out. The example, I think that when I think of a close knit family, I think of a family where there are few surprises. Okay, so I know there are of course some people when maybe they visit their family, visit their parents or their brothers or their sisters, maybe just
to talk over the phone.
Oh sure, absolutely. So when these people, some people when they visit their parents or their brother or their sister, maybe just once a year, well, there's a lot to find out, because they don't see each other. So that they meet and they say, oh you've got a new job. Oh you maybe not you've had a baby, but you have a new partner, a new boyfriend, a new girlfriend, or you've moved town. You went on holiday to South Africa. We had no idea, and that's not a close-knit family, because it doesn't have to be a dark secret, but there are things that people don't know. Whereas with a close-knit family, like Nina says, maybe they're talking on the phone, or maybe you want to visit a member of your family. Maybe they live in the same town, and you're not calling up to say, oh, is it okay if I come around? You're just going around because you see each other maybe every day. So and of course a close-knit family here in 2013. It doesn't have to be all in the same town. You could be all over the world, but maybe you use Skype, maybe you use Google Hangouts to get together, or the telephone, or email and texting and Facebook and all those things, so you can keep this family together, and you can share your news and your information and your problems and your victories as well, so that everyone knows what's going on. So it's a family that has the information, that knows each other really well, and as Anton said, can help each other out, can protect each other.
I have a question, please.
Sure, go ahead.
I wanted to say something like to celebrate together. What is the proper phrase to always to celebrate together?
Well, you can talk about a get together, and a get I don't know, it's one word or two, to be honest. Let's see, I'll put a dash in there. A get together could be with friends or with family. So, and the get together could just be to catch up, to share and swap information. It could be to have a party. It could be for a birthday, or for a celebration, or for a promotion, or for something before a wedding, for example. Any of these things. But that sounds to me the closest thing that you'd be looking for, Nina, in that example. Let me go to Talita now, who is next on my list. Talita, are you happy to practice these questions with us?
Yes, I have a question. This expression close-knit is, I don't know, I can use in this sentence, I am close-knit with my mother, or I have a relation close-knit with my mother.
It's you'll be understood, but to be the most natural, you are going to use close-knit in one way, and that is to describe the family. So,
okay.
but if you want to say you have a close-knit relationship with your mother, you can just say, oh, I'm very close. I'm very close with my mother. I'm very close with my brother, and that will, you know, they'll understand. These are people who talk, who communicate well, and love each other and protect each other and all those things. So, if it's about one person, we'll just say close. If it's about the family, then we can say close knit. And I think it's because we need more than two people to sort of knit it together, to combine like that. So a family is close knit. So yeah. Well, while we're here, Talita, tell me about your family.
I don't have a large family. I think I'm an only child, and I live with my father and my stepmother and my 4 cats. But when I talk about cousins, I have a lot of cousins.
Right.
My grandma had 9 brothers and sisters, so
yeah,
it's a huge family. So I have the part of my father's family. I have 2 aunts. And in a part of my mother's family, I have 2 aunts and 1 uncle. I only have 1 cousin with my age, so I'm close with. I'm more close with her. Closer, I think. Yeah.
Closer. Yes,
So
that's right.
I'm closer with her.
Okay.
And it is, I think.
And Talita, you told us about this broader family with aunts and uncles and cousins. How often do you see this bigger family?
Yeah, I go to my grandma's house. I don't know, twice a month, because she lives in Rio de Janeiro and I live in Niterói, and have a bay between the city, you know, and it's difficult to see her, to visit her. So I don't visit my cousins because they living abroad. One live in Spain or live in Italy, or live in another state here in Brazil. So it's really difficult to see everyone.
Okay, and when you visit your grandmother, what kinds of things do you do?
We lunch together, and watch TV or talking about our lives. It's this. We spend the Christmas. We stay together in Christmas days too.
Okay. Oh, very nice. Okay. Talita, thank you. And I think, and again, what's interesting, especially, is that's quite a different example. And of course, it's a unique. Each one of us, everyone in class, all these answers have been different in the kinds of information we have to describe our family. So we bring up different vocabulary, and I think even at this point in the class, Talita, I think you were the first to sort of talk about that wider relationship of having cousins and aunts and uncles and things like that. And of course, for a lot of people, that can be a very important part of our lives. And then for others, you know, we never see these people after we grow up. So it's always interesting, I think, to see, you know, which relationships we maintain as adults and which ones kind of fall away. So Talita, thank you for that. Thanks for answering those questions. It was you gave me some really good details there, so I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I want to make sure I have time for Anton because he was here at the very start. So, Anton, thank you for being so patient. I appreciate it, and I'm still loving the poster, by the way. Let me come to you now, and let's practice. Now, yeah, I know you know the question.
I know. So my family is not very big. I have an older sister, and she is 33 now. So she has her own family with a child. So and he lives not in my home, not in our home. Also, I left my home when I was in 10th grade school. So it was 5 years ago, 5 or maybe 6, and I spent more than 70% of my time not far from home, far away from home. So I got used to live far from my parents and visit them only on summer. In summer.
Okay, and these days now,
These days I study in university. It is I have to spend the trip to my hometown takes about more than 1 day. I have to spend more than 1 day to get to my hometown. So I visit my home very rarely. So it is I have not been home for almost 2 years.
Okay, and tell me, your sister? She's not in the same town. I mean, is she in your hometown as well, or
yes, she's in her home, in our hometown, and he lives just across the street from my town.
Oh, okay, my goodness. And tell me, does your sister, does she ever come to visit you? Okay.
No, I mean when I'm home, I always go to visit her, and I always hang out with her and stay at her place.
Right. I understand that completely.
Because I also can say that she cooks better than my mother. That's why I go there.
Well, that's very important, actually. Yeah.
Yes, and I think that I'm closer to her than to my mom.
Right. Okay. And how do you stay in touch with your sister, for example? Okay.
I call by phone, and sometimes we talk on Skype. Sometimes, well, actually, for these 2 years, we talked only on the phone and on Skype.
Okay.
That's it. Because I'm going to visit my town this summer.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
But and I look forward for seeing my parents, my home, and all my relatives.
No, absolutely. Well, I mean, I'm a zillion years older than you, Anton, but I know sometimes it's 2 years for me between visiting home as well, and it's something that's a big deal. Anton, thank you so much for answering those questions. And again, we had a very different, unique story to tell. So it doesn't matter where we are in our lives, about our family, where we're from, all those things. We'll have something unique and interesting to talk about because we're all so different. We're out of time for this class. Thank you so much, everybody, for answering my questions, as always, and for your own questions and for your discussion. A really interesting class today, and I hope you got some good practice. Please follow me if you're not already. Follow me on Verbling, but also on Facebook, and every weekend I'll put up my schedule so you can see the IELTS classes, TOEFL classes, job interview classes. In fact, there's a job interview class coming up right now on Verbling. So let me say goodbye for now, but have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you again soon, okay? Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.